Welcome, everyone, to episode 434 of the Thumbstick Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm well.
Today's topic is going to be Pokemon Sword and Shield. I feel like we probably should have done this last week, but Pokemon has some staying power, so I think this is a game, especially that people are going to be talking about for a while. So, really feel like this fits nicely into our evergreen content lineup, and will always be relevant. But that's going to be our main topic. Will, do you have anything you want to tease for later on in the episode?
Oh, goodness gracious, Dan. No, I've really only any free time I've gotten has been put into Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Uh huh.
Um, I'm gonna be picking up Fire Emblem pretty soon.
Oh, picking it back up.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to play it other than that. So just
Okay.
the thought that of me going to play it soon is my teaser, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay, I like that. I haven't played anything other than Pokemon and then Fortnite. That's all I've been playing. So,
I played
uh,
Fortnite too.
yeah, we can talk about Fortnite. Yeah, I haven't played any of the Outer Worlds. I was on vacation, which I'll talk about during my week, so I'll have some vacation stories. But outside of that, yeah, it's been same old, same old. So let's get started with Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I will say first, I did not play nearly as much as I had anticipated. So because I'm doing a series on Rated G Games about Pokemon Sword, I have the Sword version. I didn't play as much as I had wanted to. We were on vacation. Not last week, but the week before. So I didn't want to get too in. I not only did I not have a lot of time to play it, but I didn't want to get too far into it. I knew I was going to restart once we got home and once I started my video series on it. So I'm probably I made it to Route 3. I haven't done even the first gym yet. So my view of the game is more early impressions. Will, however, has played a lot of the game. He's almost done. He's playing the Pokemon Shield version, but you also have the Pokemon Sword version, right?
Yeah, because I'm a week. I've bought Pokemon 5 times
Okay.
through various different ways. So
Mm-hmm.
I own a lot of copies right now.
Sounds good. So yeah, Will can talk more in depth about everything as far as that goes. So, but yeah, I mean, Will, you're the ultimate Pokemon veteran on the pod too. You've definitely played the most Pokemon out of all of us. So, what are your thoughts on Pokemon Sword and Shield?
Ultimately, I come down with this thought: good, not great.
Okay,
Not what I thought the first like console and Pokemon game would be like.
gotcha.
I'm want to figure out how I want to talk about this with you because you're not far, and I
Uh-huh.
don't want my impression on anything to color you at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
worry
don't
about
think
that.
it. I don't think it will. I will say right off the bat, yes, I do really like it. I
Uh-huh.
like it. It's a fun game. I enjoy myself playing it. The things that bother me with it are not the Dexit stuff. Honestly, there's a lot of Pokemon in here. I love a lot of the Pokemon in there. Yes, one of my top three Pokemons, like Evolution Line, didn't make it, but my other two did. That's understandable. Plus, the Generation 4 remakes will be coming soon, probably within the next year and a half. So I'm okay with Shinx not making it because I will be using Shinx in the remakes. My problem with the game is partly the story because the story starts off super cool.
Uh-huh.
I think for people who don't know or haven't played it, the Galar region kind of romanticizes Pokemon battles like a sporting event. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it is. So each gym you go to, you start off as a young trainer with your friend Hop, whose older brother is the undefeated champion in the Galar region. So they have this thing called the Gym Challenge, where all these new trainers who start out on the specific day start challenging the gyms, the 8 different gyms. So they start at the first gym and they work their way through. And eventually you'll get to the point where you get to a tournament where you're facing off with all the people that have made it through the 8 gyms and you battle each other. And the winner of that tournament ends up fighting the league champion. And that's how it kind of is structured. So the fact that they do it and make it a sporting event, one of my favorite little touches in the game is there's this one little girl who starts off with a Blipbug, who is a Pokemon in the game, and she'll be at every single gym cheering you along the way. And you get to see, talk to her before your gym battle, and she'll give you words of encouragement. And when you'll come out, she'll be like, "Oh, like you were so awesome!" Like you have a fan,
Uh-huh.
like you're a sporting team that has a fan. And it's cool because then you get to see the the Blipbug evolve into a Dottler, into an Orbeetle, which is a really cool thing to see, like this trainer following you along your journey and seeing her Pokemon also change and evolve. Because that's what Pokemon's about. Like that's a really cool little touch. So how they set that up is like I think it's amazing and really fascinating. The problem is in Pokemon and all the past games is there's a lot of other stuff going on lore wise that you either discover or you figure out. Like one of my favorite games is the Diamond Pearl Generation 4, and you take on Team Galactic, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's Team Galactic. And like you topple this criminal organization on top of doing the gym challenges, on top of doing the Elite Four. It's all these different things going on. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on in Sword and Shield, but all of the adult characters go, oh, no, I've got this. You go continue on the gym challenge. So you really don't get to experience a lot of different cool lore plots going on throughout the game until the very end where it's like, oh, this is going on. Go stop it. Whereas like it builds like it built in the other games.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of one thing that drives me a little crazy with it because you don't really get to go too deep with any of the other story stuff
Gotcha.
from what I've seen so far. And that kind of bums me out because like I think the game looks fine. I think
Yeah.
it looks good. The 3DS Pokemon models don't really bother me that much either because I think they look fine. Some of the animation stuff is pretty cool with some of the attacks. Like the electricity attacks are all really cool because like it's very yellow and vibrant and stuff like that. Like that's a really cool thing. It's just a lot of like the story stuff that drives me a little crazy. They got rid of the GTS system, which is like before you'd be able to do GTS trading, and you'd be able to target a specific Pokemon that you could trade for, and other trainers would put these Pokemon up there for trading purposes and would name their price to have it happen. And if you met that thing, the trade would automatically happen. That's gone in this one, which I think is a really dumb move. But they do have other stuff like link trade and link battling and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's just like a couple things here and there that really kind of bum me out. Like I think through Gym 7 and 8, like is like 30 minutes it takes you to do those, and it's just like boom, go here, done. Boom, go here, done. Hey, you completed the 8 gyms. I just feel like it's bare bones, but X and Y were bare bones, and I loved those games. They're my second favorite generation. It just feels like maybe my expectations for it were a little too high. Again, it's still good. It's not my least favorite generation. I would probably say Generation 1 and like 7 are my least favorites. So it's above those two, but I think they could have done a lot more, and it kind of bums me out to see some things, some of the decisions.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should say so far I've actually been impressed with it. I haven't gotten too much into the story stuff, but the things that I like about it are the small quality of life improvements.
hmm
One of them being because I was never great on knowing the types and their mismatches, other than the obvious ones. You know, obviously lightning is good against water. Obviously water is good against fire. Like I knew all that, but the different ones, like what's good against steel or what's good against ghost. Like I never had all that like locked into my brain, so I'd always have to look it up. So one of the things this game does is it tells you which moves are going to be effective, super effective, not effective, in when you're choosing the moves, as long as you've fought that type of Pokemon before. So I like that very much. Even like if you're going into your menu to or into your bag and trying to swap out a Pokemon during a battle, it'll tell you what Pokemon you have, what their moves are that are effective, not effective, yada yada. So you can choose the right Pokemon. That's been very helpful for me. Like I said, the obvious ones I can do, but the different ones I was never good at keeping track on what did what. So that was a great thing for me. I also really liked that you could enter your Pokemon box from anywhere, or not anywhere, but most places. Probably not
Yeah.
in like a dungeon, right? But yeah, like if you're out in the field, you can access your Pokemon box to swap out stuff if you have someone, or if there's a type of Pokemon you see running around that you don't have anything good to battle it against. You can go into your box and take one out that way, rather than having to trek back to a Pokemon Center and visit the computer to do it. So I also really like that addition to the game.
Yeah. No, and you know what? There are some really cool quality of life changes as you mentioned. And you know what? Like the newest addition is the wild area too.
Yeah, yep.
And I think that's really cool.
I've thoroughly enjoyed. I've spent too much time wandering around in the wild area, and actually, one of the things I'm doing with my Pokemon Sword and Shield series that I haven't done in my other series on Rated G Games was I'm playing. I'm doing like grinding and Pokemon catching like off camera, so I can actually play the game rather than having to do all that stuff and on camera or for a video. I'm gonna capture Pokemon and grind levels off camera, so I can actually, like I said, play it more than just the hour or two that I get per night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the wild area, for those who don't know, is this area that's not confined to a town or a route or anything within the game world. Well, it's within the game world. It's just this wide open area that has different like sub areas within the wild area. So like one of them, for example, is like the Dusty Bowl area. There's also like Mirror's Edge. There's Lake of Outrage. There's different little areas that you can go to within the wild area, and you will see Pokemon just wandering around, which is really cool because, you know, for as long as I've played Pokemon, I've never been able to see like a Machamp just chilling out there.
yeah,
But
or
there's
or
one right.
charging you when you get too close to it,
Exactly. You like
which I think is awesome.
Yeah, like there's Gyarados around. There's like Noivern, which follow me down through these long different areas. So I'm trying to avoid it because I'm not high enough level to actually fight it. It's like there's a lot of really cool stuff like that. I will say another complaint I had with the game is you can't catch Pokemon up to a certain level. So like if you have 2 gym bags, the highest level Pokemon you can catch in the wild is like 30.
Uh-huh.
Which I don't like that
I
at
thought
all.
that was old. I thought that was always the case. Or oh no, you can't control them if they were too high level, right? You can catch them.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So now, not only is the control thing in there, you can't catch them.
Gotcha.
And I think that's a bad move because Pokemon. I don't know what their thought behind it is. Maybe that they don't want to trivialize the difficulty of the game, but the game's not hard.
It's a lot easier than well, Pokemon Uranium for one, but I feel like it's even a lot easier than Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah,
I feel like I had a lot more trouble in that one than I've had in this one so far, even especially at the beginning, before I got some powerful Pokemon.
Because I'm actually playing Pokemon Platinum side by side because Generation 4 is my favorite, and I've always said Diamond's my favorite, and everyone's like, why? Because Platinum is the best game in the of that generation. So I'm actually playing it for the first time, and like right off the hop, like I choose Piplup as my starter. My rival immediately picks like Turtwig, which is the grass type, so he already has the advantage. It's just stuff like that. Like the difficulty scaling was, I think, harder in those games. You had to grind more, but like I really didn't have to grind too awful much in Sword and Shield. I kind of have to now because I'm at end game.
Right.
But like that stuff's all pretty easy. So if they're barring off like you catching Pokemon to make the game easy, it's like it's easy anyway. Really,
yeah, it is pretty easy. So far.
It does get a little difficult because a lot of the new Pokemon, which are fantastic by the way, have very interesting typings.
Yeah.
Like I have a Dragon Ghost Pokemon that I'm rolling with right now, so like that kind of creates interesting matchups.
Yeah, well, I've discovered that in some of the later Pokemon generations, because Pokemon Uranium, obviously not an official game, but it had some of those too. It would have like a ground lightning type, or was it ground lightning? No, I don't know, but it had interesting matchups. So the attacks that you would use normally against this type of Pokemon wouldn't be effective because it has other type that protects it from your usual ways you attack it. You know, usual type matching.
There's actually a Pokemon in this game called Roly Coly that evolves to Carkol to Colossal, which is ground and fire.
Oh wow, okay, so cool.
It's like when a grass, because like ground and rock or whatever it gets beat by grass, so you're like, okay, does that typing is that effective against Colossa, because Colossa is fire too.
Yeah.
So you don't know, like it's a lot of like discovering that like which like weakness trumps the other.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like cool stuff like that going on too.
And there, like you said, there is a lot of Pokemon. My Pokedex, I don't know how many there are ultimately in the game, but my Pokedex Okay, I was gonna say mine was like 315 was the highest one that I caught. That's a lot of Pokemon. You know, I come from the original generation. There was 150 Pokemon, 151 if you want to, get technical. But yeah, that's all we had. So that's all I got used to. And the most recent Pokemon game that I played, outside of Pokemon Uranium, which again is not an official one, is Let's Go Pikachu. So that one has the original 150. It's just a updated version of that. So
Hmm.
yeah, there's a lot. And every new area I go to, I feel like I've got to stop and spend half an hour to try to catch the Pokemon in a new area. So
Yep, yep. Another thing I want to shout out, Nintendo does the regional variants of old Pokemon very well for the most part. Like Alolan Vulpix and Ninetales is one of the best Pokemon that they've done, in my opinion. Along with the Sandshrew, the Alolan version of that, and then like the Alolan version of Marowak is also amazing. In this game, they knocked it out of the park with Alolan Ponyta in Rapidash. It's now Psychic Fairy. It's a really cool looking Pokemon, very interesting typing, and also
you're gonna have to trade me that one, by the way, because I can't get that in my game.
so because shiny breeding or shiny catching is so hard, I've been breeding for shiny Pokemon. So yeah, I can breed you a Ponyta pretty easily.
Okay.
But I'll get to that in a minute. But they knocked it out of the park with Galarian Corsola.
Okay.
So the deal with Corsola is it's like a coral reef type Pokemon. But in this one, the Galarian version, because it's very industrial, a lot of smog, pollution, blah 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 blah. It's actually a dead coral reef, so it's like all white and dilapidated looking, and it's a ghost typing as opposed to water or rock.
Oh wow, that's really
and
cool.
It evolves to Cursula, which is like the evolution of that, and it looks fantastic, and it's a fun Pokemon to use. So I wanted to shout out Game Freak because they do an amazing job with regional variants in their Pokemon because it revitalizes old Pokemon that really like no one really used. Like I liked Corsola. Farfetch'd. Yep, Farfetch'd is to Surfetch'd now. A lot of that stuff, like that's really well done because I think it adds more viability to these older Pokemon that people didn't really care about. Like I've always liked Corsola, but I've never really like wanted to use it. But like Ghost typing's interesting. I like Ghost typing, so being able to mess with it a little bit and end up really liking it is really well done. So I like that they do regional variants to some old Pokemon every generation. I kind of hope they do that for the Diamond Pearl remake because I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've also enjoyed that. Like you said, it breathes life into these older Pokemon that people kind of forget about. No one really cared much about Farfetch'd.
No one, not a single person.
Yeah. So and that even in Pokemon Go, I feel like that was just a regional one that we couldn't get here. Like literally, like regional.
Yeah.
I think you had to get lucky and hatch it from an egg. So that was one that people just didn't care about. So.
Yeah, and like, who would have thought we ever would have got an evolution of it?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know how to evolve it, by the way?
No, I haven't even caught one yet.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, sure.
You have to hit three critical hits in one battle.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
So you got to buff the crit then, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if there's an item that you can use to make it easier, but yeah, you gotta somehow hit 3.
Yeah, I feel like what sometimes some Pokemon moves boost your chance to have critical hits.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, you've played a lot more than I have, so.
My guess is that Farfetch'd has an item that you can catch it with that raises its critical a lot, and you would just be in the middle of a trainer battle and just hope.
Or maybe figure out a way to heal the other Pokemon.
Yeah. Actually, I've lost one battle.
Oh, really?
In the game so far. It was against the 8th gym leader because I was stupid and... Galarian Rapidash has a healing attack, or a healing ability, and I meant to do it on my Frostmoth, but I ended up thinking I was attacking another. I thought I had clicked the attack, so I went to go put that on the enemy, and I actually healed them.
Oh, okay.
And it was the typing that I didn't have. I only carried 2 Pokemon, and I was grinding levels with the other ones because there's shared experience now.
Yeah. So
everyone gets experience when a battle happens. So I brought my really low... which is... I like that feature. A lot of people were actually really upset that that's a feature, but I love it.
Yeah.
But I had 4 Pokemon that were horribly underleveled. I was just trying to raise their level a little bit, and I stupidly healed the enemy Pokemon, which was a Gigalith, which is a rock type Pokemon, and Rapidash and Frostmoth aren't super effective against Gigalith, so I just completely screwed myself that fight, and I lost because of it and had to redo the fight.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's frustrating. Okay.
So.
Well, let's talk about the other big thing included in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and that's the raid maxing. Obviously, you've had a lot more experience with it than I have. I've only done the first air raid max. I've probably done maybe 3 or 4 raid max battles.
I'm going to be honest with you. I have not done very many raids.
Oh, really? Okay.
Only because I don't have people to do it with, and I want to do the harder ones. Where you can get Gigantamax Pokemon, but like I just haven't really.
Yeah, I've done 3 or 4. I've only done one where I tried to get other actual players, and no, I couldn't connect to anyone. So I've done them every time with I guess it's just computer players.
How are they?
They're fine. You know, they don't always match up the types properly, but you can't always necessarily tell. You know what's going to be effective. When you go in to do it, it tells you like what type of Pokemon it is, but you know obviously there's a lot of variables other than that. So
you're just guessing at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a cool thing. I've had fun with it. I haven't done it too much to get it down into the nitty gritty, but it's a neat little side thing in the game.
I think they're going to introduce legendary Pokemon through this.
Okay.
I just think it's such a golden opportunity for them to bring in older legendaries from past gens this way.
It makes sense. You know, it's another way of bringing players together for you know, a common. No, I don't want to say common enemy, but common theme. You know.
Yeah.
So
I also think the fans would be ecstatic if they were like, "Oh, Lugia is exclusive in a raid battle right now. Find it quick."
Yep. Find it.
Like kind of like
your friends.
Kind of like Pokemon Go does it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm actually hoping there's a Pokemon Go tie-in of some sort, like there was with Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee.
I think Pokemon Home is supposed to tie into it. I think that's like a transfer. I don't really know what Pokemon Home is. There's like Pokemon Home and Sleep now. I don't really know what they are.
Huh. Yeah, I remember hearing a little bit about that, but there wasn't a lot of details announced, I don't think.
I feel like there's a subscription involved with it, so I immediately was like, no, I don't care enough.
All right. Yeah, I mean that's all I have to talk about really. I've enjoyed my Pokemon Sword time thus far. I hopefully can play a lot more by next week's episode and talk a little bit more completely about it, but yeah, I've enjoyed it.
As I said, like I have talked about being disappointed in a lot of stuff with it. I do really like it. I mean, I've put in 40 hours into it. Yeah. Like I do enjoy it quite a bit. It's just some things like I expected maybe a little bit more out of the first console Pokemon game for the new generation. But I don't even think I ever talked about my theories with it of why it turned out the way that it did.
No.
So I heard 2 different things online. Again, you could take it with a grain of salt, and I'll make them quick. One of them was they intended for this to be a 3DS game, and Nintendo was like, because it was so successful the Switch was, they were like, no, you have to put this on the Switch. So they were already behind the 8 ball with that. The other theory that I had heard that people said that they heard from sources, and again, could be reliable, could not be. I would say probably not reliable, but they actually had a freak issue happen when they were developing the game, and they lost almost everything, Pokemon models and all of it. So they were only able to scramble to put in the 400 Pokemon total that they could. And the reason why they're the 3DS model is because that's all they could salvage and not redo all of the new models for the game.
Interesting.
So that was what I saw people talking about quite a bit. So, and then that the next game would be the one where like, hey, everyone's back. This is the one you wanted. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. So that's what people had been saying. So I found it interesting. Again, probably not true, but that's interesting to me at least. So
yeah, definitely. Huh. Okay. Anything else on Pokemon, Will?
Nope. That's it.
All right. Do you have anything for Nibblebits?
Not really.
Yeah, I got a couple quick ones before we get into our weeks, which will be a more interesting segment anyway. Um, the first one is that Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Rogue are Switchbound this December. Once again, I'll say it, I want everything on the Switch. So this is it's a good fit. I'm almost tempted to get Black Flag for the Switch, despite the control issues I had with it. The ship stuff is just that good that I would be willing to buy that game again.
I actually I want to play Black Flag again on my Xbox. I have it and everything. I just haven't really booted it up.
Yeah, I've got it on PC, but whenever I come to play games on PC, I always just end up playing Fortnite.
You nerd.
Until next week when Halo comes Halo Reach comes out on PC, then I'm gonna be playing that probably.
Me too. Me too.
That was that. Let me look real quick and see if there's any other headlines that jump out at me. Where is it?
Call of Duty got some new stuff to it. I know my friend would be able to
Duty, bro.
Answer it better because I haven't really played. There's like, that gunfight mode that everyone's been talking about. It's the 2v2.
Oh yeah, I've watched a little bit of that. It's pretty interesting.
I guess there's like a tournament type thing where like there's brackets and like your team would face off against another team and just go through brackets, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
New multiplayer maps, Crash, Vacant, Shipment, which are old maps that are coming, which is really cool. New ground war map, new guns, stuff like that. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to boot this back up.
Yeah,
this stuff will be coming December 3rd when Halo comes out. So
most of what I'm seeing is and it's been a while, so I didn't want to, because we didn't do an episode last week, obviously. Most of it's Black Friday deals, so I'm not seeing a ton of news. We obviously missed some stuff from last week, but that was also last week. So Will, how's your weeks, I should say?
Pretty good. I have closed on an apartment in Connecticut, so that's definitely happening. Looking into a car tomorrow. It's coming quick.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 2 weeks out from being done at one of my 2 jobs, so it's crazy to me how fast time's flying. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Honestly, just trying to play as much Pokemon as I can, or any other video game for that matter. I haven't lifted in like a month and a half. I'm going to be getting back into that probably like Monday. So yeah, it's a lot going on right now.
Nice.
How about you, Dan? How was your vacation?
Vacation was amazing. So we left here Friday at like 6:30, which was far later than we wanted to leave. We wanted to leave at like 5 or 5:30, but it just never goes as planned.
Nope.
And I was worried how I would be, because I can stay up all night. It's not a big deal. But I was worried how I would be not sleeping and then having to drive all day, Saturday while we headed down to Florida. Turns out not too well. It was a struggle towards the end of it, but we had to stop 3 times in Pennsylvania. So we left at 6:30. We didn't get out of Pennsylvania until probably 12:30. So it started off really slow. And not only did we have to stop 3 times in Pennsylvania, but our GPS got us confused and lost in Pennsylvania on the way down. So we lost an extra hour of time recalculating our route and trying to get back onto the highway. So it started off really bad. And then finally my kids went to bed. So it was smooth sailing from like southern PA to I think at like 6:30 in the morning we had to stop in North Carolina for gas. So it was pretty smooth sailing at that point. And then when they woke up, it was, stopping more often than we would like. It rained most of the way down. And I was struggling come early afternoon, not falling asleep, but getting really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
From having sat, for so long. I don't sit that often, in my day to day. I'm always on my feet wandering around, cleaning and, making food for everyone. So I don't sit that much. But we finally got to Florida at, I don't remember. It was like 6:00 maybe. I say we got to Florida. We got to our location, which was just south of Tampa.
Were you near Clearwater?
Yeah, yeah, we were right there. We drove through Clearwater on the way home.
Did you? Yeah, it's a cool area, right?
It's a very cool area. So our the place that we stayed was Indian Shores, which is a little island like right off the coast of Florida that you drive to, and it runs a lot of the length of Florida, on the Gulf Coast, and it was just beautiful. Sunday when we had our first day, like full day there, because we got there Saturday night, we just went into our hotel room and unpacked and got some food and then crashed. But it was cold. It was like 51 and really windy. So we went out on the beach for a little bit, but then went back to the condo and napped. But for the rest of the week, it was sunny and hot in the like mid to upper 70s. We
Beautiful.
sat on the beach in the morning till midday. Went in, had lunch most days, and then we went out into the pool and hot tub area in the afternoons. And that was our vacation, other than Thursday. So the main reason why we actually went on the vacation was it was my wife and I's 10-year anniversary. It was the 21st. And we had decided, I think it was even shortly after we got married, that we were going to do a vow renewal, because we got married on our 10-year anniversary of dating. So it was our 10-year anniversary of being married, which was also our 20 years together. So she decided, shortly after we were married, that we were going to do a vow renewal. So I think maybe, I don't know, a year and a half ago, we decided to like do a vacation in tandem with the vow renewal and do a beach vow renewal. So we did that was on Thursday. And that was awesome. It was really cool to have, the kids there and some of our family and friends there. None of my side of the family could make it because of how crazy busy everyone is. Because Corey's getting married soon. You, Will, were kind enough to stay and watch our dog, and Mom and Dad were kind enough to take care of our dog too,
Yeah.
which was awesome of you guys. We have to do something nice for you when we finally get our heads on straight.
Honestly, do you know what? I wanted to be there really badly. If I wasn't moving, I would probably be there. But
Yeah.
the best gift you gave me was me not having to drive very far for
you
9 days.
you really get spoiled having, to Wegmans. What was it, 4 minutes or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, I would leave if I had a shift at noon. I'd leave at 11:55.
Yep, and get there on time.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was an amazing trip. Like everyone was like crying and sad to leave. Not totally. I was sad, but one of the things that because it was all of our first vacation together. Like my wife and I hadn't been on vacation in like 9 years. And it was my kids. It was their first vacation, their first time on the beach, their first time seeing the ocean. My son is a like part dolphin, I swear.
Yep.
So it was impossible to get him out of the ocean. But one of the good things it did, because my wife and I have been wanting to move somewhere where winter is not a thing anymore. And the kids were never on board. They didn't want to leave their school, their friends, yada yada. But now they're on board with wanting to go somewhere where there's no winter. So that was also a good thing.
So does this get the ball rolling a little bit more on that?
It'll be a couple years probably before we're able to do so. But that's the plan for now, unless something changes. It'll be a couple years, but definitely want to do that. The drive home was bad because we had a snow/ice storm up here, mostly in like central PA when we were on our way home. So, we left at 10:30 in the morning, and we left Florida at 10:30 in the morning, and 5:30 in the morning the next day, we had to stop at a hotel because we wouldn't be able to drive through the ice storm. So we slept there for like 3.5 or 4 hours, and then got back on the road and got here at like, I think it was like 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We finally.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And we were only happy to be home because we were not in the car anymore, because it was a long trip with a car stuffed full of stuff.
Yeah.
But my car was a champion though. She had hundreds of pounds of people, hundreds of pounds of gear. I got 25 miles to the gallon, 25 and a half miles to the gallon down and back, which is crazy.
Wow.
I usually get 13 around the city. So to have it get up and on the highway, and it was a 3,000 mile round trip. It gobbled it up, so that was nice.
Yeah. How happy was Gimli?
He was very confused when we first got home. I don't think he knew what was going on, and then I think he thought maybe we were just stopping in and then gonna leave again. Because he kind of sulked a little bit, and then I took him out to go to the bathroom, and then once I think he realized that we were gonna stay, he was super happy that we were
It's like,
all
oh,
home.
thank God.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, but it was an awesome trip. I can't like we're already trying to plan another trip down there. Maybe in a year and a half.
I forgot to bring this up, Dan.
Yeah.
Val had warned me about the door.
Oh yeah,
Was very right.
yeah. It happens all of a sudden, and it's only seasonal. About
So
the key not opening the door.
yeah, so a
Yeah,
little quick story.
yeah,
One of the nights, I worked a ton, so I was not around around Gimli for anywhere from 8 to 13, 14 hours. So mom and dad were kind enough to help out with watching Gimli, checking in on him, taking him outside, feeding him, blah 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 blah. One time, dad went to go take care of Gimli, couldn't get the door unlocked for like 20, 30
yeah,
minutes. Called mom in. Mom came in, couldn't get the door unlocked. I called them at work because they're like, we literally can't get the door open. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I can't leave work. I can't help you right now.
yeah,
Eventually, they got in, but like, Gimli just stood by the door for like an hour while they tried to get into the house.
yeah,
And it happened twice to them.
yeah,
So I don't know what happened because I had one issue, but I was able to get it.
yeah, yeah.
So
I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know what it is either. It started like right away when we moved in, but over the summer it wasn't a thing. I don't know if it's just the cold that makes the lock like stick, but it's almost like it's like something's blocking when you're trying to push your key in.
yeah,
I don't know what it is, but
I,
yeah,
w-
it's
I
all of a
was
sudden.
I was worried about snapping the key.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, if that happens, I'm done.
Well, no, we have other ways of getting in, which I would have told you.
Oh,
But yeah, that's the obviously the easiest way. But in an emergency, there is other ways to get in.
to
So
get
yeah.
good to
Um,
know. Good to know.
yeah. So there was that. But luckily, my kids only had 2 days of school, and then it was Thanksgiving break. We had Thanksgiving yesterday, which was awesome. It was nice time with the family after a while. And then and then here we are. So I don't think I have anything to talk about other than that. Just that I want to go on vacation again, like immediately. Even now, my son's like, I want to go back to Florida. Like,
I
yeah, we
do
all
too,
do.
son.
We all do. Nobody wants to be here anymore.
Yeah, you kind of realize you're like, all right, time for a change.
Yeah, exactly. This area is such a dump that it's just awful.
I don't even hate the area. I'm just like, all right, I'm over it.
Yeah, no, I hate the area. I hate the weather. Ugh. It just like you go somewhere else and you realize like how much energy there is other places.
Yeah,
Everyone just mopes around here all the time. When you have 2 months of summer or 2 months of nice weather, I should say. It's just, ugh. I don't know if you ever saw Shaun of the Dead, Will.
oh yeah,
Yeah, the part at the beginning where the people are pushing in the shopping carts and they look like zombies, but they're not actually zombies. They're just people who are miserable.
yeah.
That's what I
No,
felt like when I came back here.
you see it on people all the time here.
Yeah.
Like working in a grocery store, yeah, everyone's just miserable.
Oh yeah. And, it's a depressing area. It's a dying area. It's cold all the time and cloudy all the time. It's
Which
just
like grates on you.
yeah, oh yeah. Especially when you're someone like me that just hates winter. I've never ever liked the cold and never ever liked the winter. I don't like skiing, I don't like snowboarding. I'd rather never see snow again. I'd be as happy as you could possibly be if I never saw snow again. So, like, why do I live in the Northeast?
It's the worst
Yeah,
area for all
yeah,
that.
exactly. My wife's the same way now. I think she didn't mind it as much when we were younger. But another thing too is when you have kids, like if we want to go anywhere, which is we have to go somewhere all the time, it's hats and gloves and coats. on 4 kids. You know,
Yep.
even my oldest, like he needs to be pushed in the right direction to get his shoes on, to get his coat on, to get his gloves, to get his hat. You know, we have 2 3-year-old toddlers who don't want to wear a coat or don't want to wear a hat or don't want to put their shoes on. So, you know, it's that, and that's for 7 or 8 months out of the year where we have to do that and fight with them about putting coats on.
Which mentally drains you to
Oh,
do that
it's
over and over
exhausting.
again.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So that's another factor. But yeah, that's all I got. Will, did you have anything about Thanksgiving you wanted to talk about?
Your family's a riot.
Oh yeah.
You put life into to the old people here in Newark Valley.
Yeah, sure.
Um, Thanksgiving, it was my 3rd day off in 2 months, so that was nice. So I was just literally just laying there playing Pokemon on my Switch with the family. Played some video games with your kids too, which was fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, nothing too much to add. Just that it was a good time.
Yeah, it was. All right. Let's get into what we played then, shall we?
Let's do it, Dan.
Okay. Did you play? You didn't play anything else besides Pokemon, right?
No, nothing really of note.
Okay. Yeah, a couple things I want to talk about. So I also, because it's been a while, I also played Luigi's Mansion a little bit more. I don't have anything else to say about that game. It's still really good, and if you have a Switch, I would recommend it. It's a good puzzle game. It's a little different than a lot of other things that you've played. So that's a good one. I'm gonna resume my series after I get a few more Pokemon videos out. I'll probably do like 2 Pokemon videos for every one Luigi's Mansion video. So there's that. Fortnite, I've played a bunch of Fortnite. I actually really missed Fortnite when I was gone. My son was still playing it, so I would hear the sounds that the game makes. You know, that the sound of the battle bus honking. You know, and the storm closing in and stuff. I tried playing it on my Switch one time, and it was awful. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait till I get home and get on my computer. But me and my son had our first victory royale together, where he was still alive and I was still alive, where we finished off the game. I'm gonna put up a video on Rated G Games about it. I've got to edit it. I've got it recorded. I just have to edit it. But that was awesome because it was, you know, like I said, it was our first. We've played a lot together, and it was our first time together winning while we're both alive. We won one other time where he died partway through, and I couldn't rescue him, so I just finished it off myself. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
When we played, Dan, your son carried me.
Yeah, he needs to work on his strategy, but he's one of the. And I was telling you, Will, when you guys were playing, and it happened a couple times, I think, in the video that I'm going to put up. But one of the things he does is, like, I'll distract the people that we're fighting and shoot them while he sneaks around and shoots them with a rocket launcher and blows them up.
Yeah.
And it works great. I don't know why they don't see it coming, but it works really good. So I'll get a few hits in. Even one time I got knocked when they were doing that, and I think I knocked one other person, so that other person was crawled over near their standing person, and my son blew them both up with a rocket launcher, which was awesome.
Yeah. No, he did that with me too. He ended up saving me at one point.
Like, yeah, he has revived me more than I've revived him. I will say that. But it's a lot of fun. My daughter's actually she got it. I meant to say my daughter got a Switch for her birthday. We got her the turquoise Switch Lite, which she loves. She was very happy. She even said when we were walking to school that morning, she's like, "I hope I get a Switch for my birthday." I was like, "I don't know. We'll see." So yeah, she got a Switch. Luckily I had thought about it ahead of time, and knowing how those things are to set up, I opened it like during the day, got it all set up. I got her profile transferred. I installed Fortnite for her, and a couple other things, and so all of her save games and stuff were on it, so she could just open it up and play it. So it was ready to go when she opened it up. But yeah, it's a really solid device. I don't know if you picked it up, Will.
Yeah, I did mess around with it.
Yeah, it's perfect for kids. Like my son has the regular Switch, which I think kids that young should have the full like solid device because his Joy Cons were messed up when I sent them in to get them fixed. So yeah, definitely if you've got kids, the Switch Lite is the way to go unless you need to play it on the TV. But yeah, it's a cool device. So yeah, my daughter's starting to want to play Fortnite with us too. So then we'll be a team of 3. Then I just have to get my wife to play, and we'll be a team of 4. Fun times.
Are you gonna be rolling squads together? You think?
Oh, definitely.
Is
Absolutely.
Val gonna be into that?
I don't know. You never know. She might.
She will be.
She's gonna play it, but I don't know. You never know what she's gonna ultimately like and not like. She might just like it though, because me and my son play it so much together and have a blast. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. I think that's it. Fortnite. God, I swear I played something else, but I couldn't have because I haven't played that much games. So anyway, you don't have anything else to talk about, right? Will?
Not really. No, nothing of note.
Okay. So we have feedback, which I believe we only have a feedback from last week. Oh, the Predators got a shutout. So that means I have 2 shutouts this week in fantasy hockey.
Rene.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. One from Rene and one from Corey Crawford.
Did Crawford play today?
No, not today. It was his shutout was earlier in the week. He did play today.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, because he got lit up by the Avalanche.
Mom was trying to figure out if she should play Lundqvist or Lehner or who's the other goalie. I can't remember who our other goalie is, but yeah, I was like, maybe Lehner and Bennington.
Oh,
Lundqvist ended up playing really well, I guess.
I mean, Boston could score 8 goals easily in a game, so you don't want to take that chance usually.
And that's exactly what I told her. I was like, you probably don't want to do that, but sure enough.
Yeah, he had a great game. All right, so our feedback was from last week from Tate, who says, "Sup guys, hope everyone is doing well. So last week I got into The Witcher 3 some more, and I found something I found hilarious that I had never found before. I don't know how you would find it unless you just randomly stumbled upon it like I did. I was running through a forest to go to a quest marker, and I ran into this hunter that was yelling and shooting arrows into some trees. I went and tried to speak with him, but it wouldn't let me. He was screaming, 'I'll kill ya! Attack together!' At first I thought maybe there were some more people with him and they were attacking someone or something, but he was totally alone. So I walked over to the spot he was shooting at, thinking where there were some bandits or something over there. Well, there was a small family of rabbits, or hares as they're called in The Witcher, that he was attempting to shoot at but missed every shot. I just thought it was a funny thing to run into, and I couldn't interact with it at all. Love stuff like that in games. Anyways, I am seeing great reviews and opinions on Jedi Fallen Order, and I'm excited to get that bundled with my Xbox One X next week, hopefully. Oh, I wonder if he got... I meant to check in with him to see if he got his Xbox One X today. As for last week's game giveaway, I'll take Total War Warhammer. Thanks, gents. Have a great week. Taterade out. Can do, Tate. And you are the winner again this week.
This week.
So we didn't have any more feedback. I got behind. I fully intended on posting stuff on social media this week, getting back into that routine, but I didn't because it was Thanksgiving and my daughter's birthday, and my daughter's birthday party is tomorrow. It's a never-ending stream of things.
Yeah, so, we didn't have a lot of time.
No, we didn't. But hopefully I can next week get back into posting more regularly on social media, keeping people posted on what we're recording, when we're recording, yada yada. So that's that. So Tate is the winner.
Random number generator.
Oh, dang it, I didn't bring my Chromebook down.
Dang it, Dan.
I know. Okay. Usually I'm more prepared. No, I'm not really.
Everyone knows what we're about.
Yeah. Okay, so Total War Warhammer is gone. I'm going to take that off the list right now. That's a Corey game. So Tate wants Total War Warhammer. And then he wants Thoth too. So
Thoth.
I will send those out as soon as we finish here. Okay. Hit me with the first roll, Will.
First roll will be 64.
64 gone. Here we go again.
66.
66 is Train Valley.
Ooh, Train Valley.
Okay. Next.
3.
Wow. 3 is gone. 1, 2, and 3 are gone.
129.
129 is Joe Danger 2 the movie. Joe Danger 2 the movie. Okay. Next up,
54.
54. What? Warhammer End Times Vermintide. What the heck?
What's wrong?
The Alexa down here just started.
Oh.
Probably my wife wanted to play something in the kitchen upstairs, and it's playing down here.
Playing down here.
Alexa,
Stop.
Alexa, stop. Dang it. That's really annoying. Of course, she can't hear me from here. So, all right. So we got Train Valley, Joe Danger 2 the movie, Warhammer End Times Vermintide. 2 more.
96.
96 is The Walking Dead 400 Days. The Walking Dead 400 Days. Hold, I've got to turn that off. It's going to drive me crazy. I'll be back in 1 second.
I'll vamp for a second.
Alexa, stop.
Alexa. Alexa's going rogue on Dan right now.
There, that's better.
Alexa went rogue.
Oh, man. Robots these days. No respect.
Yeah, no respect with anything.
It was tongue-tied by Marshmallow. Why would that be playing?
Maybe it's a sign.
That I need to make some s'mores?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Did we get to the 5th game? I don't even remember.
No,
Fourth
that was 4.
Okay.
Last
100.
100? 100 even is bold. I don't know what bold is. So let us know, Tate, if you want Train Valley, Joe Danger 2 the movie, Warhammer End Times Vermintide, The Walking Dead 400 Days, or bold. As I said, I will send you out Amnesia, Total War, Warhammer, and Thoth. As for updates, I potentially would like to do Jedi Fallen Order next week. But I'll have to talk to Corey and Eric. They're the ones that have played it, so I'll talk to them and see if they want to do an episode on it next week. I would like to get that episode in within the next couple of weeks because we want to do. We're talking about maybe doing an episode on Game of the Decade, which I think would be cool. We also want to do our thummies earlier this year, hopefully like mid-December maybe. Just while everything's fresh for 1, while people are looking for Game of the Year type of stuff for 2. And because I know we don't know what Will's gonna be after you move. We don't know what your schedule is gonna be and stuff. So
that's true, yeah.
So we want to do that in mid to late-ish December probably.
Yeah.
So we'll keep everyone posted on all that. But ideally, I would like to do Jedi Fallen Order next week for an episode, depending on what Corey and Eric wanted to do. I actually got an Origin Access free trial for updating. Oh, I had 2 more things I wanted to talk about.
Let's hear it, Dan.
Oh, crap. So I got into the GOG Galaxy 2.0 beta. I meant to talk about this during my week. And it's the game client that connects all your game clients, so all your games are in one place. And so far,
really?
Oh yeah, it's amazing so far. So I had the biggest problem I have with using something like Origin or Uplay that I never end up using is I never remember what my password is. It doesn't save it for some reason in those game clients. I'm not sure why. And I never remember it. So every time I want to log into that, I have to reset it. So it saves all that stuff, which is great. All my games are in the same place. It takes all the hours and achievements and all the other stuff from those clients and puts it all into one place. It's fantastic so far.
This is genius.
Yeah, it hasn't done friends lists yet. It doesn't seem like the BattleNet client is in there officially yet. That would be nice if that was in there. But everything else, it's got Origin, Uplay, Epic, Steam, Xbox stuff. So it had my playtime for Red Dead Redemption 2 that I played on the actual like Xbox, not on the PC version. It's really cool. I really like it so far.
Can I get into this beta?
You could sign up for the beta and try to get in. It took me probably, I don't know, maybe 2 months.
Okay.
From the time I signed up to the time I got. I think they're like slowly adding more people. But at some point they're just going to open it up. It'll be out of beta, but I would definitely give it a chance, a recommendation, because it's pretty cool so far. And then another thing is that I unfortunately didn't get to try is I got into the Project xCloud, which is Microsoft's streaming thing. I got it all set up in that, but I just never got a chance to play a game on it yet. So I'll hopefully report more back on that next week if I get a chance to play it this week.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's everything. God, I swear there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. When I don't, this is what happens when I don't take notes. I didn't take notes for this episode, so.
Same way, I always forget to bring stuff up until right after the episode, and then I forget for the next week.
Yep. So, but yeah, I guess that'll do it for episode 434 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
Will.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.